Hello YouTube and welcome back to World of Warships with Wadres again. And, well, today I am going to be doing a match in the Tier 10 USS Montana. I know I said my next video was going to be a mid or low tier video, but things happened in today's battle sessions that just kind of prompted putting a video together simply due to the absolute hilarity. Now, just going to go through the stats and everything for the USS Montana. She has 96,300 hit points, pretty standard armor for a battleship, and 39% torpedo damage reduction. Again, standard armor for a Tier 10 battleship. She has pretty thick main battery protection, pretty thick side armor belt, and the 32mm bow. And her citadel is reasonably well placed. Geometrically speaking, it's not phenomenal, but it at least does its job. It does have some thick plating around it. She, of course, has the standard 16-inch US rifles in four triple turrets, and they have a 30-second reload time, 36 seconds 180 rotation time with proper commander skills. She has a 264-meter dispersion, 5,700 HE shell damage, 36% fire chance. She does 13,500 damage with her armor-piercing shells, and she has a 23.6 maximum firing range, which of course can be extended up by scout aircraft. She also has the relatively standard US secondary batteries, the 5-inch or 127mm batteries that are seen as the main batteries on the USS Atlanta, and are pretty standard secondaries for all battleships and cruisers above Tier 7, I believe. They have a 7.2-kilometer base firing range and a 9% chance to fire on target, with 1,800 damage done. Her anti-air defense is extremely strong, with quite a wide array of anti-air batteries, up to and including the secondary batteries, which have dual-purpose functionality, and she has a max AA rating of 100. Her maximum speed is 30 knots. She has a 950-meter turning circle radius, and her rudder shift is relatively long at 17.8 seconds. She has a surface detection range of 15.6 kilometers, an air detection range of 14.5 kilometers, and after firing her main batteries, she has a 17.4 kilometer detection range in smoke. And of course, she has the standard 2-kilometer shore detection range, regardless of all other factors. And of course, for my commander, this is the John Doe commander, formerly known as Steven Seagal, which of course means that he has the enhanced expert loader skill. He has the enhanced expert marksman skill. I am also running this captain with adrenaline rush, basics of survivability, basic firing training, advanced firing training, and manual fire control for anti-air armament. And anybody who knows the USS Montana, this is a fairly decent and, I dare say, even beautiful ship. She is very much a logical upgrade from the USS Iowa Tier 9, or Missouri if you really want to count that one. And I mean, she's definitely the next logical step in the US battleship line. But I am going to talk about one other ship here, and you'll understand why when I actually get into my video. And that is the French Tier 10 battleship, the Republique. And just kind of going to go over her stats. I am going to assume a 19-point captain because, well, just for grins. I'm not going to go over commander skills or anything like that. But this ship has 92,400 basic armor. She has relatively decent defenses as well, 32mm bow, and of course the usual. She does have a somewhat decent turtleback under there as well. And for her, she does have a 37% torpedo reduction. For her primary artillery, she has 17-inch guns, 431 millimeters, and she has 8 of them. They have a 24-second reload, 36-second rotation time, 322-meter dispersion, which is pretty, well, it's a pretty wide dispersion, but she does have a maximum range of 26.1 kilometers. She also does 6,300 HE shell damage with a 48% fire chance and 14.5 thousand armor piercing damage. She also has a relatively decent spread of secondary batteries, which makes her a more than viable secondary battleship build. And these do decent damage, they have decent range, and they have a decent chance of fire on target. She also has relatively reasonable anti-air battery defenses as well, but all of her secondary guns double as anti-air batteries, and I'm sure she can get a decent AA rating with proper commander skills. She has a maximum speed of 30 knots, a 980-meter turning circle, and an 18.3 base rudder shift. And of course, with the French speed boost taken into consideration, which is either 15 or 20% to the top speed when in use, she can definitely get up to about 36 knots or so. And then, of course, detection range. She has an 18-kilometer surface detection, 16.8 base air detect, and an 18.3 kilometer detection range after firing her main guns in smoke. And again, the relatively constant 2 kilometer short detection range. And again, just kind of looking at her, she is definitely a nice ship. Unfortunately, this is not one of the ships that I own myself yet, but I mean, I don't even have to see the camo on her to know that she's nice, and definitely a decent secondary build, because, I mean, just look at how many secondary guns are on this ship. The primary concern I have with this ship at all is just the fact that, again, she has 8 main battery guns and 2 turrets. I guess it's workable under the right circumstances, but I guess I'll see when I get there myself. Overall, she certainly does seem to hold her own in a fight. But anyway, coming into the battle, well, first off, looking in the direction that I am, you can see the Republic being run by the gentleman who is to be the other star of this video, Mr. HMCS Montcalm, I believe, and he is running, again, the Tier 10 French battleship, the Republic. And you'll kind of understand why I'm saying he's going to be the secondary star of this video in, well, just a couple of minutes, really. This wasn't a phenomenally long battle, but it just got really amusing very quickly, I do have to say. Now I started this battle off by going up towards the strait between the islands at A. This is the map Okinawa, for those who are unfamiliar with the game. And it is usually seen, I think, about Tier 8, Tier 9, Tier 10 on the matchup list. And I was assuming some of the enemy ships were kind of going to come up around and between the islands at A as well. But it kind of took me a little bit to realize that there really wasn't anything coming up this way except me and a couple of the other friendly ships. And I just decided to hold this course for a little bit, and there is a small strait between one of the smaller islands and the big island right up here, and I was going to turn over and go between there. But I was using the opportunity of concealment to just lob shells over this smaller island and get some decent shots into some of the cruisers coming down the center line. Now right here I do start my turn over, and here comes HMCS Montcalm. And, well, neither of us were really paying attention to our surroundings too much, and he's running full speed in the Republic right into me. I think right about here is where he realized that, hey, there's another ship in front of me, and it's a little too late. But Yeah, right here is where the hilarity starts. His bow has somehow managed to lodge in the side of my Montana, and I am... It's at this point that I realize I'm actually dragging him along with me. He is somehow actually stuck on my ship. We do kind of start talking about it in chat here, just amused more than anything else, I suppose. But we have seemed to engage in a rather unconventional method of creating a super battleship. This would be the French-US hybrid Republic of Montana battleship. But what is especially amusing is that in the position that we're in, neither of us have obstructed main battery firing arcs, unless you count my rear batteries being out of action. But we can both still shoot at targets without hitting each other. But yeah, he's just stuck in the side of my ship, and I'm dragging him along sideways. At this point, though, I am starting to look over and see that there's a lot of open water there, with a Montana that has a pretty decent look at my broadside. He's trying to back off of me, but to no avail. I'm trying to turn over to at least get my armor decently angled against these ships. But otherwise, I'm just dragging him towards this small island, which finally, at long last, by grounding him on the island, frees both of us. I finally take off, free of him. He backs off away a little bit to get clear of me, and it's as if we were never even connected in the first place. And just now, this if we had been stuck together too much longer, this could have been a bad situation. But now that we're free and able to angle properly and get our guns on targets properly, now it's just a very exceptionally amusing warships anecdote. One game physics go derp. Of course, starting to get into the results, starting off on the team score, me and HMCS both came away with the first and second places on our team by score, respectively, which, considering the position we were in, is rather respectable, I think. I came away with 543 base experience points, and he managed to come away with 448. He also scored 2 kills, and I nabbed 1. At my request, HMCS was kind enough to send me a couple of his results screens. For his part in the match, he earned 146,370 credits, 1,300 experience points, 69 free experience points, and he did 116.5 thousand damage. He also scored 174 secondary battery hits and 30 main battery hits. All things considered, not bad. And of course, per my usual format, Moncton's... I'm really confused on how to pronounce that. HMCS's net credit earnings were 75,323 credits, and his commander earned 1,700 experience points. And looking at his screen, it was a 19-point commander, which in discussion later on he did confirm. And, I mean, overall, considering, again, the position that we were in, that wasn't bad at all. And, of course, for my own battle results, I earned 342,000 credits for the match, 2,921 experience points, 876 free experience points. I did 120,000 damage, and I also scored 17 main battery hits, 58 secondary battery hits, and I also killed 1 ship. The primary difference between his results and mine are simply that I was running a few more economic flags because I'm also working on my legendary modules missions for the Montana, and it's just really chewing up some of my credits bonus flags. And of course, for my net earnings, I came away with a earning of 160,000 credits, and my commander earned 4,999 experience points. And as you can see, again, I've got all of my bonuses listed. Without them, my earnings would have been just about on par with AHMCS Moncton's. But yeah, again, considering the situation we were in, we managed to come out at the top of the team still and just really did very well for ourselves in this match. Overall, I'm pleased with it, and we have an amusing story to tell from it as well. Anyway, on that note, I suppose I shall let everybody go. Enjoy your day, happy hunting, and I will catch everybody next time.